Welcome back to the SportsMax zone. We turn our attention to football. England are in the final of football's European Women's Championship, where they will play Germany at the Wembley Stadium on Sunday. But as they are preparing for the final, there have been calls to change their nickname from Lioness to Lions. During BBC's Women's Hour, broadcaster Emma Barnett asked former England international Asante, "Do you like the term lionesses? Why not lions? Why do we have to call them lionesses?" This is coming from Emma Barnett. Well, this innocuous suggestion to rename England's lionesses to lions has been widely rejected. Secretary of State for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport of the United Kingdom, Nadine Dorries, has also weighed in on the matter, labelling it as rubbish and nonsense. This is what she said. "They are lionesses, they are our lionesses. I love everything that is encapsulated within that word. It's well known that the lions are the lazy ones who lay around in the sun all day. The lionesses don't only go and get the food in, but they also look after the cubs and the entire pride." The symbolism of the word lionesses encapsulates so much that is powerful and positive and good. Why would people try to denigrate something that is really positive and really great about women's football in that way? Meanwhile, on Twitter, social media commentator Piers Morgan wrote, "The campaign to call England's magnificent footballing lionesses lions to avoid being sexist is the single most pathetic virtue signaling campaign ever, and the bar for that title was staggeringly high. Just stick a cork in it, you wretched, gender-deranged, woke wastrels." Gents, is this much to do about nothing?
Yeah, that was a William Shakespeare comedy, wasn't it? Much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
Correct is right.
Yes, correct, mundo.
This is appalling. When stories like these gain so much traction, I'm losing hope, George and Mariah, to be quite honest. This is a non-issue. They are female, aren't they?
Yes.
A lioness is female.
Yes.
Lioness, what's the problem?
And you know what my bigger issue with this is? This has been the lady's name for such a long time. Is it because now that they've qualified for the final of a top tournament that this is why everybody has something to say and to weigh in? What say you, George?
Well, George wants them to lose on Sunday. That's where I'm sure he'll start.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But I feel like the issue at hand, George, is something that shouldn't be the center of discussion. Why a name change now?
Let me first deal with Lance's comment about wanting them to lose. You know, Lance, I've been having mixed feelings because a couple of their standout players, the scorer of the back heel in the semi-final against Sweden, Rousseau,
that was classic,
and the goalkeeper are both Manchester United players.
So, and of course you've come back from your vacation as a Man United
and they're
fan.
top girls as well.
I'm back in the Republic of Mancunia, I must say. So I'm having mixed feelings about it. But let me deal with this issue now. So Lance says, I mean, Lance doesn't have to say it. We all know a lioness is a female lion. The word lioness has been used from the 1300s to describe a female lion. And a woman who is boldly public. Lioness has also been used from the 1300s to talk about a woman who is the subject of much public discourse. Okay? England's lions. The lions for England are, well, the three lions refer to the football team, the men football team.
Yeah.
Lioness must and can only refer to the women. Now, as Piers Morgan says, and we call Piers Morgan a social media commentator, no, he's much more than that. He's the highest paid journalist in the world right now, fronting Rupert Murdoch's online programming. So he's far more than a social media commentator. Yeah, he has gotten it dead right. Woke wastrels. Only an idiot and someone who wants to curry favor with the woke brigade would even dare to steer the conversation along this path to make football gender neutral, The same person who wants gender neutrality in the reference between men and women football, for that reference to be equalized. And so for men to be lions and women to be lions. They want the equality there. They would never say to you, let the England team play in the FIFA Men's World Cup, or the Swedish team or the German team, because they know what would happen in that instance. Or they wouldn't say, let the women race the men at the Olympics or the World Championships or the Commonwealth Games. So it's cheap point scoring, because we're in a phase now where the more woke you are, the more followers you get on social media, the more attention you get, and you take for yourself a little piece of history as, do you know that I was the one who was the first to suggest that England's lionesses be called lions? And look at where we are now. Yeah, congratulate me. That's all this is about. It is nonsense. It is idiocy. And I'm very disappointed that we've had to take time to address it, because only a dunce would come up with something like that.
No, but I mean, suggestions are always good, and everybody wants to be a part of history, but not for something dumb. And I just feel like, as you said, it's not a topic up for discussion. And I love how their culture minister dealt with it. Like, she was basically front out, I support.
I don't like how she dealt with it. You were saying something, though.
No, I was just about to say that our audio man should end the show today with Queen Ifrica, lioness on the rise.
Absolutely so.
Why you don't like?
Because if we get let's get the post from the culture minister again.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what's wrong with it. Okay. And this is the problem I'm having, and this is the problem I'll continue to have. In defending the retention of the name lioness, and in making ridiculous the suggestion to call women lions, she has belittled men, or attempted to belittle men in her comments. She said, look, they are lionesses, they are our lionesses. I love everything that is encapsulated within that word. It's well known that the lions are the lazy ones who lay around in the sun all day. No, come on, people. Nadine Doris, you don't have to do this to make the point. Because if it was a man commenting on the issue about them wanting to call lions lionesses, no man could have said, we all know that the lionesses are the lazy ones. You couldn't say that, because he'd be asked to resign. She takes a pot shot because, guess what? She's criticizing the woke brigade and criticizing the comments as being part of the armory that those riding the woke bandwagon use to gaslight and to seed the discussions that they want along the woke lines. And she's doing the same thing by pandering.
But maybe she didn't put it... Okay, so the point that she's making, right? Maybe she didn't put it out properly in words. But, she's going back to the history where, the lions are the ones who protect and, they're seen as the protectors versus the women who are, the nurturers, and they create life and stuff. Maybe she didn't... Her choice of words probably wasn't proper.
But that's the problem. We're talking about her choice of words. So I'm saying she said the lions are the lazy ones who lay around all day. I'm not accepting that. But then again, I'm not making a big deal out of that. I'm just saying that sometimes we are guilty of criticizing someone for being asinine in their criticism, and in doing so, we are asinine in our criticism. Point I'm making.
Yeah. Are we out it? All right. So, George, you can do the...
Yeah, Bayern Munich's chief executive officer, Oliver Kahn, has revealed that they considered signing Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United, but decided against it as he would not fit in the team's philosophy. Ronaldo wants to leave Old Trafford to play Champions League football, but the clubs that can afford him are unwilling to sign him. So what should happen to Ronaldo now? He says he doesn't want to in. Arnett Gardens don't play Champions League football, so they can't sign him. So what to do with Mr. Ronaldo?
Well, I think only time will tell. Sporting Lisbon, based on information from my producer, is the latest club that has shown interest in Cristiano Ronaldo. I just find it very strange, though, because I remember the entire hype. I remember the speech as if it was only yesterday when he joined the club. And, all the deep stuff that he would have said, how much Manchester United meant to him. So now I'm wondering if those things were actually typed for him by somebody, his PR people, or written for him to say and whatnot, because it feels as if he's going back on those words. I thought about him ending his career at the club that, meant so much to him, but now it doesn't appear that way to me at all.
And I think what is very obvious is that when he said a lot of those things, he didn't expect not to be having Man United qualify for Champions League football.
Lance, it goes back to the morals of what he was saying.
You know, people can change their mind, and circumstances change, minds change. I would say that the club are in a very good position. If he stays, it's because he can't find anywhere to go, because we all know he wants to leave.
So you have the power.
For the club, and the club is in a unique situation of having total control of the situation and not generating negative headlines by virtue of their stats, because there's no negative headline to generate here, because he says he wants to go, but he can't find anywhere to go. Yeah. So what will we keep him?
And Man United say they want him to stay.
Exactly. So you keep him.
Yes, so I'm just saying that if he ends up staying because there is nowhere else to go, he has to commit himself to a solid season.
Absolutely.
Which would be to Man United's benefit.
And that's the point. The club is in a win-win position, and it's rare in a transfer situation that the club doesn't attract bad tidings over its stance in the transfer. Man United are in control. I really hope he finds somewhere to go. For his sake, I want him to be in the best frame of mind when he plays for Portugal in the World Cup. Not that I'm banking on Portugal winning the World Cup, but I want Ronaldo to be at his best and Portugal at their best, so the World Cup can be very good. I also want him to play well for his own advancement, but I want Manchester United to be free of the negativity, off-field issues and the baggage and the me, and the rest. I want Manchester United to be better than they were last year. And in my estimation, they're better off without CR7. If he stays, he can commit himself to the process. Otherwise, find somewhere to go quickly, and we can move on as a collective.
If he stays, do they still build around him?
No, there's no building around him.
So he's just there.
If he stays, he does what we pay him to do, which is score goals.
Score some goals.
Okay, break time.